That's, I mean, my entire thesis is, hey, this is really, really slow. So it turns out that there are ways to encrypt like integers, like numbers, whatever, uh, such that the ciphertexts, the things that you've actually encrypted, still have a little bit of structure. And you can like make use of the structure to, you know, like add or multiply or like do some very, very basic operations over these ciphertexts in a way that, you know, corresponds to something interesting over the things that you encrypted in the first place, over the plain texts. You know, you take whatever complicated thing you want to compute and you break it down into a bunch of these like smaller functions, and then you evaluate these one at a time over the ciphertexts. Uh, it's, you know, it's a lot of really fancy math that I don't completely understand, but I've tried to. It's really slow, but it works. I'm very
So
worried
that
about it being slow. That's, I mean, my entire thesis is, hey, this is really, really slow. How do we make this faster?
and how do you do it?
You do it by knowing what the underlying cryptography looks like. And you get something that works, but it's really, really slow because like every single gate evaluation is like, you know, 4 or 5 orders of magnitude slower than it should be. But where my work comes in is like there's a lot of like neither of these communities are really operating at their full capacity, if that makes sense. So yeah, like these communities are not operating at their full capacities. And so my work tries to kind of bridge that gap a little bit by saying like, well, on the one hand, how do we take some of these more clever you know, compilation techniques that we know how to do in like I'll say classical space, and how do we sort of port them into something that makes sense over crypto? And on the other hand, how do we take the really clever specific protocols that cryptographers have built and I don't know, maybe rework the abstractions somehow to make them friendly to compilers or to make compilers able to make use of these and things like that.
That's interesting.